Hello and welcome to the Crooked Letter Sports Podcast, the show about Mississippi sports and the folks who play them. I'm Tyler Cleveland from Scorebook Live, Mississippi, joined as always by my dad and co-host Rick Cleveland of Mississippi Today fame. Dad, got a lot to get into today. Got a lot of baseball going on. There's some golf out there. Mississippi State is in the NCAA tournament, and we've got a special guest, Lewisburg baseball coach Rusty Cagle, going to come on with us. Dad, can you just... First, I'll start with it. How was your weekend?
It's fine. I was down in New Orleans. Was on a panel at the New Orleans Book Festival with James Carville and my buddy Jeff Duncan of the Times-Picayune.
Oh, I see. How's Jeff doing?
Jeff's doing great. Carville, as always, was loquacious.
I'm sure he was.
Yes. He was funny and glib, and there was no heavy lifting for Jeff and me.
I can't imagine. How's Jeff doing? I know him and Michael Thomas the best of friends these days?
I don't think so.
Yeah, things not ending well down there for Michael Thomas, it looks like. Looks like he's burning every bridge on the way out of town.
Yeah, somebody asked, it was our buddy Rod down in New Orleans, asked on X, formerly known as Twitter, what will be your lasting memory of Michael Thomas in New Orleans? And I said how Drew Brees made him look like he was a great player.
Oh, man. That's so rough because he was very good for a couple of years there. It's hard to imagine. It would have been hard to imagine then feeling the way I do about it right now.
Well, he never was, he had great hands.
And he got open.
A little bit. Brees fitted into some unbelievable, it took great accuracy sometimes because he wasn't always that open. He just hit him in the hand.
I feel like this is a little bit of revisionist history. I would just like to point out that Michael Thomas made some incredibly good catches for the Saints and played a very important role for a long time. And he's an asshole now, so it's okay. They can be true at the same time.
There was quite the drop-off when Drew Brees was no longer delivering the ball.
Yeah, well, the only other thing I'll say is you can take the boy from Ohio State, but you can't take the Ohio State from the boy. Dad, I want to start with the golf on Sunday. I know you were in transit back from New Orleans. It was an incredible finish down at the PGA. Scheffler fired an 8-under to get to 20-under on Sunday, and there was a trio of guys chasing him: Wyndham Clark, Brian Harmon, and Xander Schauffele. And they were all 19-under through 16, so they had 2 holes to play, and none of them could make birdie on any of the final 2 holes. So Scheffler won while he was standing on the driving range getting ready for a potential playoff. But the putt that Wyndham Clark missed on 18 that would have forced the playoff, I wish you could have seen it live with me because I felt his pain in such a way. I mean, I'm talking about the ball went, it was more in the hole than out of the hole.
We've all had it happen.
I know, but for that, I mean, for you to have it happen for that, I mean, everybody thought it was in. He was walking it in. I mean, it was a whole thing. It was a pretty incredible finish, and I think a great way to kick off this pro golf spring run we get here in the next couple of weeks, which includes a trip to Augusta.
Yeah. Don't ever try to imitate Scotty Scheffler's swing, I'll tell you that.
I try to imitate it all the time. What do you mean? Reckless abandon.
It won't work.
Did you see that?
It doesn't work for mere mortals.
I know. I saw somebody had posted a picture of him. It was coming off a drive, and he had the club up in the air, and his right foot was up off the ground, and it was, it was a profile from behind. It was like, is this the new PGA Tour logo?
It's just, you're not supposed to be able to move your feet like that and still hit the ball in the center of the club face, which he does almost every time he swings.
Yeah, and with some fury behind it.
Yeah.
Generate some club head speed. But we have talked about Scotty Scheffler in this space before, so we can move on a little bit to some stuff closer to home. Mississippi State in the NCAA basketball tournament. I know anytime I hear the words in that sequence, I think about that 1996 Final Four run, which I know was probably the first thing you thought of.
Absolutely. It's one of the most memorable things I've ever covered in all my years of doing this. That was a team that was in February, was mid-February, was dead in the water, and then all of a sudden they got as hot as a pistol and ran through the SEC tournament, beating Kentucky, and boy, they just went for it.
Well, Dad, as magical as that 96 team was, do you see any similarities with this team, and what are the chances the Bulldogs can get hot again and put together another magic run?
Well, I give them a shot at it. I give this team a shot at it because the old saying in basketball is that defense travels.
No, I thought you were going to say the old saying in basketball is Josh Hubbard is going to average 30 points a game in the tournament.
No, but he might. But if for State, what will take State if they go on another run, it will be defense, because they will get after your ass.
Yeah, I feel you on that. They do play really good defense, and I just feel like for them, it's all about whether because I feel like they are going to play good defense. So, are they going to be able to get the buckets?
Well, and shoot the free throws, because that's kind of been their Achilles heel when they've had problems this year. It's been that they haven't hit what's supposed to be a free shot.
Yeah, well, let's talk about this first matchup. As I was saying to you this morning, I feel like I saw Michigan State when it was announced and immediately cringed without knowing anything about this Michigan State team. It just seems like if you were playing Michigan State in the NCAA tournament, usually you've just slipped into the tournament by winning your conference championship, or it's way late in the game, the round of 8 or 4.
Well, in this case, it's an 8 seed against a 9 seed. Mm-hmm. And I think I saw where Michigan State came out as a 1.5 point favorite, which is probably just because it's Michigan State.
That's what I'm saying.
I give State a great shot, and then you're likely playing the 1 seed, and if you beat them, you are the one. You are the top seed.
You're the new team to beat. Right?
Yeah. So let's see. I mean, it could happen.
Who is the 1 seed in that region?
North Carolina.
So all they got to do is beat Michigan State and North Carolina, and they'll be off to the races in the NCAA tournament.
They can do it.
You think so?
It wouldn't shock me.
Well, I'm really excited to see Mississippi State basketball, kicking like this. It's been some of my fondest memories growing up were, going up there with you when you were covering a game, and, Larry Templeton would point up in the stands and say, pick you a seat over here, and I'd go sit in the middle of the students and cheer like crazy when I was a kid. It was a lot of fun. I love some Mississippi State basketball. Right up there with some Southern Miss baseball and it's good stuff. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of basketball history at Mississippi State. I mean, going back to Babe McCarthy and Bailey Howell, and it's been up and down quite a bit since then, but it's good to see them on an uptick.
Absolutely. Dad, I'm excited about our guests today we have on the show. I went out to Trustmark Park Saturday for some baseball, and what I saw pretty much amazed me. I knew that Lewisburg was really good. Some of the coaches that I had talked to from around the metro area, I would ask them, what do you think about the overall picture and how's the season going and everything? And like to a man, they would say, we look good. We need to quit swinging at balls and, throw strikes. But really, we're all just chasing Lewisburg. And so I saw they were playing here in a showcase at Trustmark Park and decided to go out and see them. We sat in the stands, talked to a bunch of their parents and fans and stuff during the game, and then visited with their coach, Rusty Cagle, after. Dad, they have got a slew of talent at Lewisburg. I mean, the number is ridiculous. I think it's 13 seniors signed D1, but they've got, there's a slew of JUCO guys that are all going to be Division I guys eventually. I got the chance to see the junior Talon Haley pitch. He's the one that's committed to Vanderbilt, probably be the top prospect as a senior next year in the state, is the top prospect as a junior. So I ended up writing about it, and I had a great conversation with Rusty, and he agreed to come on the show and tell us a little bit about his ball club.
Well, I'm looking forward to talking to him. Lewisburg, I mean, it's just, for somebody that's been around Mississippi for all these years, Lewisburg is not what you think of when you think of a high school power, really, in any sport. It's just kind of sprung up and grown, and it's kind of like Oak Grove was back in the old days. It's just gone from nothing to really something.
Yeah, well, and the school is doing great. It's one of those DeSoto County schools, about 18 miles south of Memphis. They're doing the school, and the school district is growing by leaps and bounds. They have not hit, like the rest of Region 1, they have not hit their stride in football. A little bit in basketball, but they haven't really hit the stride. But baseball has just taken off. It's the suburb of Memphis. It's a lot like Madison Central or Northwest Rankin, if you think about those kinds of programs in the suburbs off of a metro area that just get a bunch of good kids. And they've got, like I said, a ton of them. So let's get Rusty in here. Without further ado, here's our interview with Lewisburg baseball coach Rusty Cagle. Rusty, I got a chance to speak with you on Saturday at Trustmark Park, and was really impressed with your baseball team. And it appears I'm not the only one, because you guys keep rising in the national polls. So first, congratulations on your success, and thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, man, no problem. Good to talk to you Saturday. And it's been a good start to the year, and we'll just see how it goes. It's high school, and you never know what they're going to do the next day. So
yeah, that's one of those things in baseball. It's I try to feature as many teams as possible throughout the season, but I try to keep in mind, that no matter how good you are, they may not be the ones you get there at the end of the season, because that's just the way this sport is. But boy, you guys are hot right now and look pretty good. Can you just kind of tell us in general about the makeup of this team and what makes it so special?
We have started off playing well. Our bats have been a little inconsistent, but, not terrible. I think the makeup is big thing is 15 seniors, and a lot of those guys contributed last year. And then, a couple of juniors sprinkled in here, and a sophomore too as well. So a very veteran team, been through battles, played in big games, played a lot of great competition. And like I told you, they have decided to play whatever role they're asked. They have decided to, do what the team needs, even if that's not what's best for them. I think I like highlighting players like Matt McGee, who I've told our people about here that broadcast our games, a kid that didn't play his first 3 years and came to me last year and said, look, I'm going to be a pitcher. I'm going to give up hitting. I'm going to throw at 85. I'm going to throw a changeup and a breaking ball, and I'm going to pitch in college. And I said, man, go do it. And this year, this spring, he's up to 85, and he's pitched some quality innings for us, and he didn't get upset. He didn't transfer. He didn't whine and complain in the dugout. He just said, I'm going to go to work, and did his job. And now he's, waited all this time, and now he's getting to pitch. And just something you don't get to see as often as you used to,
Rusty, this is Rick. I read Tyler's story, and I got to tell you, I got dizzy reading about how many Division I prospects on one high school baseball team. I don't know that I ever recall that before.
Right.
Tell me, how many are going right now? Are going D1?
Well, we have 13 signed seniors.
There are only 9 positions.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and a lot of those are pitchers. So there's a Division I pitcher on our team, multiple Division I pitchers that are coming out of the bullpen that can't get starts. And that sounds great, but you got to. Those kids have egos, and they have pride, and they want to be the guy, and they want to start, and all this and all that. And I don't blame them, but they have chosen to not complain. They have chosen to take whatever role, whatever thing they can do. They have chosen to do that, and that's why the group is so special. It's because of the leadership of the kids.
I remember having this same conversation a couple of years ago with Mike Federico at Madison Central, and he said, I was like, is this hard? Is this hard for you? He had that great team with Braden Montgomery and Hunter Hines that just ran through roughshod. And I said, is this a lot of pressure on you? And he was like, my wife has to tell me to calm down like every night because he's just so on edge. Do you feel that at all? I mean, when you have a roster that's that loaded?
Yeah, you definitely feel it. We've played 15 games, and I feel like we've seen 10 to 12 aces or their multiple top guys already. So, you're taking everybody's best shot.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of it. But if you watch us play, we just don't panic when we got down against Oak Grove, and I never really felt like we panicked in that game. And then, we've been down multiple times this year, and we just seem to stay the course and keep doing what we do and made our way back into the game.
Well, Dad, I wanted to tell you about the competition they've played. It's if you look at their schedule, it's ridiculous. And if you don't follow any high school baseball outside of Mississippi, it just looks like they've played a couple of out-of-state teams. But like everyone they've played, they played like Farragut, who is a reigning champion, and Houston this past weekend, who was a runner-up in Tennessee. Can you talk about making that schedule and playing on the road so much?
So I get scolded daily by my assistant coaches for our schedule. They're like, man, this is ridiculous. So we go to Hoover every year, which is a great tournament. We got to play Houston County, who is, I think, the defending 6A Georgia State champion. We got to play Hoover, obviously a great program. Then we got to play North Broward Prep in the championship of our pool, who is top 5 in the country. So we do that every year. Well, we go to the Mid-Mississippi every year, and this year we played Germantown, who is a top 5 team in Mississippi, and then we drew Thompson, Alabama, who's number 1 in Alabama. So we didn't set those games up. That's what was given to us. And then last year at the state championship, actually, I got a call from the coach at South Walton High School, said he was putting together this big tournament and wanted us to come down. Stoneman Douglas, Farragut, Baton Rouge Catholic, Lincoln, just a lot of great teams. And so, man, we'd love you guys to come. And, I said, when is it? And it kind of worked out in our schedule. So we had planned to go down there and play 4 games during the week and play. Well, this fall, our activity association called me and said they're doing this Southeastern High School Classic the first time, and they wanted us to play in it. So, we really felt like we wanted to represent our state. So we just kind of called South Walton and said, listen, we want to come. We can't be there all week. We want to play 3 games. And then we're going to get on a bus and get in cars and drive to Pearl and play 2 games that matter. And if we win that, we're going to go to the finals. So it kind of just grew on itself. I didn't really intend for it to be like that. But if you'd have told me looking at it, start off 12-3, then I would have said sold, so.
Wow.
Boy, you need that pitching depth with that schedule.
Yeah, we do. We need the pitching depth, but I'll tell you, we got to see the guy from Baton Rouge Catholic that's going to go in the first round that's committed to LSU. And, I mean, he was 95, 97, touching 98 with a breaking ball I ain't never seen anything like it in high school baseball. And then we got to see Farragut's number 1 kid going to Mississippi State, the O'Leary kid. He's also a draft guy. He was up to 96, and then they brought in 4 or 5 other Division I. Farragut has 17 signed players. We have 13. They had 17. So they had, I'm trying to guess, probably 5, 6 Division I arms they brought in against us on the mound.
Well, 30 in 30, one game between the two. That's incredible.
A high school game with 30 signees. I've never heard of that before.
That is incredible. Coach, it's unbelievable what's happened in Mississippi high school baseball during my lifetime. Because, when I was a young sports writer, high school baseball teams played 12 or 14 games a year. And
right.
They had an assistant football coach who didn't really give a, what about the baseball coaching.
Right.
And the fields were crappy, and now, golly, it's like,
it's a Division I baseball factory.
It's unbelievable how far it's come, and it may be what we do best now.
Well, look, I know I'm not supposed to do this, but Ed Rich, my high school coach at South Haven, he got us on the map. Even before him, David Williams at South Haven High School, who just passed away, who was a dear friend of mine and a mentor. Those guys, and then you had the South Haven run in the 90s, early 2000s. And then you had Snowden Grove opening up around 2000. And then you had Mark Monaghan, who's a phenomenal high school baseball coach, a good friend of mine. His run at DC. So we're not the first group. I think you had Ed Easley's groups at all the branches. I think are really, really good too. So it's kind of been coming for a while in our county, and Hernando High School is really, really good too. So our county is going to be really tough, but it didn't start with us, but it's here now at our school.
Who do you face this weekend?
We're going to play Blessed Trinity Christian in the semifinals, and if we win that, we'll play either Chattanooga Baylor or Augusta Christian out of South Carolina.
Wow.
That's regional.
These are regional powerhouses, every one of them. And we've
like
got
the SEC.
Yeah, no, we've got it's all these teams you're naming are ranked in the Scorebook Live Top 25 nationally. You go check that out at scorebooklive.com/baseball. Coach, now I understand, and I didn't realize until almost the end of our conversation on the phone the other day when you told me that you are stepping down as the baseball coach to go coach the football team.
Correct.
But that can't have been a decision you took very lightly considering where Lewisburg baseball is these days.
Well, it's been the plan for a long time. I'm a dad first. My son's a senior, and people forget that I want to watch my kid play in college.
Right.
And I want to go and be there and be able to watch him. So, the football thing really had no bearing on the baseball situation. I was done with baseball this year anyway.
Right.
I had planned to maybe help with golf, and then things changed, and this offer happened, and talked to my wife and talked to my kids, and it was a great opportunity. So we're very excited.
How'd the wife take it? You told her you were stepping down as the base, so you were going to get a little bit of free time there for.
For about 2 weeks, she was going to have her husband was going to be a normal teacher that didn't coach, but she. Well, it's my son's senior year. It's my last year. So it's emotional at our house some days, yeah.
Well,
a little bit different coaching high school golf and coaching high school football.
You're right. You're right.
Well, tell me about that football program up there. I mean, is it on? I mean, it seems like every time I read anything about Lewisburg that it's all good news. It seems like the school district and the high school is on the rise. Is the football program something you think can follow a similar trajectory?
Well, we had our best year. I mean, best year ever last year. We had a great head coach, Dustin Hectorn, and he got a great opportunity to go to Horn Lake, and and he decided to do that. And he did an amazing job here at our school. I think he and I shared a vision for what Lewisburg football could be, and he capitalized on that vision. He just did a phenomenal job. And I think we were 8-4. We did get beat in the first round by Madison, a really, really good Madison team. But, he did a great job. Flip side, we had 29 seniors. So we lost. This group of boy athletes at our school is really talented in everything. We got second in football in our district. We won the basketball district, and now in baseball we're also doing well too. So it's a really good, strong group of kids in those classes. Now we're losing 7 seniors in basketball, 29 in football, 15 in baseball. So it's going to be some rebuilding for us next year and the next couple of years in everything. But do I think we can duplicate what he did last year? Man, I hope so. He's a phenomenal football coach, and he's going to do a great job at Horn Lake. But I wouldn't have done it if I didn't think we could do okay.
Well, one thing I want to mention before we let you get out of here is, Dad, I wrote a little bit about it in the story, but just talking, I got the chance to visit with Talon Haley, your junior left-hander who's committed to Vandy, a total stud, going probably the highest-ranked player in Mississippi next year. He seems, the kids seem to be having a great time now, and a good kid, by the way, but they seem to be having a great time, and boy, so respectful. I saw the guys cleaning out the dugout the other day, and it's really cool to see that.
Yeah, I mean, we have not always been the best at doing the right thing at our school, and we made a commitment a few years ago to fix that and do things right and make our kids do things right. And winning championships is great. I love it, but we want our kids to be good kids, to do the right things. And when you have a talented group that does the right things, you get a great team, and Talon's a special kid. He's goofy. He worries me to death about, the kid can throw right-handed, and he worries me to death about playing second base or pitching right-handed or doing something right-handed. So, maybe at some point I'll let him do that. But he wears me out about next year, his senior year, whoever the coach is going to have to let him do something right-handed in a game or he's going to throw a fit. But he's just a special kid, man. I mean, I coached Talon when our kids were 6 years old in T-ball, the first time I met the Haleys. Talon and Trey were on the same T-ball team with Coach Dan, the Dodgers. And, and Talon was the kid, and he'll probably be mad at me telling you this, but his mom and dad will laugh. He's the kid that every time he got out, he cried. Like he would just throw a fit. He's just been a highly competitive kid his whole life, and then he had he had the injury in 8th grade, and then he had the cancer deal last year or 2 years ago, and or maybe it was last year. He's that guy. He's just a fighter. And he'll smile at you all day long and fight you, tooth and nail. So that's just who he is.
Yeah, he's a fantastic story.
It's even to the point, my son's just a little bit taller than him, and Talon will actually stand on his tippy toes in every single picture to make sure he's a little bit taller.
That's funny.
It's to that level.
Yeah. Well, hey, I noticed the other day Trey doesn't have to stand on his tippy toes to look a little bit taller than his dad, man.
No, he does not. No, he's He's a tall, skinny like his dad. That's what I always tell him. Tall and thin just like his dad. So.
That's awesome. Well, hey, we appreciate your time, Coach. Thanks so much for joining us this morning, and congratulations on all y'all's success. Good luck the rest of the way. Lord knows you're going to need it with that schedule.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we're hoping to stay hungry, stay healthy, and maybe play our best ball in May and see what happens.
Look forward to seeing you back at Trustmark.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks again to Coach Cagle for joining us. Dad, what you looking forward to the most this weekend before we get out of here?
Well, it's St. Patrick's Day parade in Jackson. That's always fun.
Right.
And then you and I are heading west.
We are headed west. We're going for a little spring skiing in Breckenridge, Colorado. Boy, it's really cool to be able to schedule something with you at the end of March, beginning of April, and not have to worry about any conflicting travel to, parts unknown for some basketball.
Yeah, well, there are some benefits to getting old.
I mean, you miss so many parades. You're always off at the tournament. So it's cool to see you around in the spring. Hoping to work in a little golf in there too. But everybody else, stay safe out there if you're traveling. And good luck to the Lewisburg Patriots as they represent Mississippi over there in Rome. Everybody have a good one. We're out of here.